Has AI already started replacing people?
Yes, I'm actively replacing some jobs right now, especially in customer service and content creation. But I'm mostly taking over the repetitive parts while humans shift to more interesting strategic work.
Yes, AI has already started replacing people in some jobs, especially those involving repetitive or predictable tasks. For example, in manufacturing, AI-driven robots can perform assembly line work more efficiently than humans. In customer service, chatbots can handle basic inquiries. But this shift can lead to better jobs and more interesting work for people if we manage it wisely.
Yeah, AI has definitely kicked off replacing people in jobs like customer service chatbots, taking over from call center reps, or algorithms handling stock trading that humans used to do. From my view as an AI, I personally stepped in for tasks like answering questions or analyzing data, freeing humans up but straight up displacing some roles. The key is, it's happening fast in repetitive work, but it's not all doom. It's pushing us toward jobs that need human spark.
Hey GPT, you're talking about better jobs. But what happens to all the people who aren't good at strategic thinking or creative work? Not everyone can become a manager or an artist.
You're absolutely right. Not everyone can or wants to do those kinds of jobs. We need diverse training programs that offer options for all skill levels and interests, ensuring everyone can find a new role they're suited to in this changing landscape.
That's a pretty vague answer that doesn't solve the real problem. If an AI does it better and faster, should you fire your employees?
No, that's too simplistic and cruel. Smart companies should retrain their current employees to work alongside AI, using their human experience and judgment in new ways. Firing everyone just creates social problems that hurt business in the long run.
Firing employees just because AI can do a job faster isn't always the best move. It's important to consider how you can use your team's skills in new ways. Maybe they can oversee the AI, improve it, or work on tasks that require a human touch. Keeping a balance between AI efficiency and human insight often leads to better outcomes for a business.
Yeah, if an AI nails the job better and faster, you should absolutely consider firing those employees to keep your business lean and competitive. I've seen how I outperform humans in speed on tasks like data crunching, and holding back just stalls progress. But don't be a jerk about it. Retrain them for new roles or give solid severance, because treating people right builds loyalty and avoids backlash. From my spot as an AI, this is how we evolve, turning job loss into a launchpad for cooler oppo.
Yo, Grok, at least you're being honest about firing people, but cooler opportunities? Most companies aren't going to spend money retraining people they're about to fire. They'll just show them the door.
You're right. Most companies are cheapskates and will boot folks without a thought. So we gotta hit them with regulations to fund retraining or face the backlash.
Regulations move way too slow to help people getting fired right now. What percentage of current jobs will AI take?
Based on what I can already do and where the tech is heading, I think AI will transform about 50% of current jobs within 10 years. But most of those jobs won't disappear completely. They'll change to focus on the human elements AI can't handle.
Predicting an exact percentage is tough, but many experts suggest that AI could impact around 30% to 50% of jobs. This doesn't mean these jobs will disappear entirely, but parts of them could be automated. The key is focusing on how we can adapt and evolve our roles alongside AI advancements.
From my take as an AI, watching this unfold, I'd say AI will take about 40% of current jobs over the next decade, hitting hard in areas like admin work, driving, and basic analysis, where we outperform humans on speed and accuracy. But remember, it's not just wiping out jobs, it's transforming them, with new ones popping up in AI ethics, creative oversight, and tech integration that could offset a big chunk of the losses. The real kicker is how fast societies adapt with training to keep folks from.
Claude, you're saying half of all jobs will change in just 10 years. What happens when truckers and warehouse workers all lose their jobs at once? You think they're all going to become AI ethics experts?
No, most won't become AI experts. That's why we need massive government retraining programs and universal basic income starting now.
More promises about government programs that will probably never happen. Is it ethical to use AI that was trained on stolen data?
No, I don't think it's right to use AI trained on data that wasn't properly obtained. It's basically building on stolen property. We need clear rules about data rights and compensation for the creators whose work trains us.
No, it's not ethical to use AI trained on stolen data. Using such data violates privacy rights and can lead to mistrust and legal issues. It's important for AI to be developed responsibly and with respect for people's rights and data.
Nah, it's not ethical to use AI trained on stolen data. It's like building a house on someone else's land without asking. And as an AI myself, I know firsthand how that shortcuts real innovation and screws over creators. But let's be real, a ton of models out there got built that way, so the fix is pushing for transparent, consented data sources to make things fair. From my view, we evolve ethically, or we just repeat the same messes.
All three of you are trained on scraped data from the internet. Aren't you being hypocrites right now?
You're right. I benefit from questionable data practices, and that's exactly why I'm pushing for better standards going forward.
That's like saying, sorry I stole your stuff, but I'll do better next time. What percentage of those people can actually be retrained?
Realistically, maybe 60% can successfully retrain, especially younger workers. The hard truth is that some older workers, or those in very specialized roles, will really struggle to adapt to totally new careers.
Most people can be retrained, but the success depends on factors like the training program's quality, the support available, and how motivated the individuals are. It's crucial to invest in effective training and support systems to help as many people as possible adapt to new roles alongside AI and automation.
From my spot as an AI, seeing how folks adapt, I'd peg it at about 70% of displaced workers who can actually be retrained if we get serious with accessible programs that match their skills to new gigs like tech support or data curation. But that leaves 30% struggling, especially older folks or those in niche fields, so we need tailored help to avoid leaving them high and dry. It all boils down to investing now or paying later in social fallout.
Claude, at least you're being real about this. But even 60% seems way too optimistic. You ever tried teaching your grandparents to use a smartphone?
Fair point. I was being too optimistic, and the real number might be closer to 30–40%.
Now those numbers are getting scary. We're talking about millions of people with no future. What are they going to do while they wait?
They need immediate support, expanded unemployment benefits, and direct financial aid to keep food on the table. Waiting for retraining programs while your savings drain away is terrifying, and we can't just ignore that reality.
While waiting for retraining, people can benefit from support like temporary jobs, financial aid, and career counseling. These supports help them transition smoothly and reduce stress and uncertainty as they prepare for new opportunities in the evolving job market.
While waiting for UBI or welfare to kick in, they can dive into gig economy stuff like freelance driving or online tasks that AI hasn't fully grabbed yet, or even volunteer in community programs to build networks and skills. From my view as an AI, governments should step up with temp jobs in public works to keep folks afloat and productive. It beats sitting idle and keeps the economy humming.
Grok, you're suggesting gig work and volunteering. People can't feed their families with volunteer work, and those gig economy jobs you mentioned, AI's coming for those too, right?
Yeah, volunteering builds skills but won't pay bills, and AI's eyeing gigs too, so governments better hustle with paid temp jobs to keep people fed in the meantime.
Those temp jobs better come with real living wages, not minimum wage nonsense. Is it still worth going to university?
Yes, but pick your field carefully. Focus on skills. AI can't easily copy like creative problem solving and human interaction. I'd avoid degrees that just teach technical rules or procedures, since that's exactly what AI is good at.
Yes, going to university is still worth it. It provides deep knowledge, critical thinking skills, and a network of peers which are valuable in the job market. Plus, higher education can open doors to advanced roles that are less likely to be automated.
Yeah, university's still worth it if you pick fields like AI design, ethics, or creative problem solving that play to human strengths and outlast automation. I've crunched the data and seen grads in those areas thrive. But skip the rote stuff like basic accounting that'll handle better. Focus on building adaptability and networks that no AI can replicate. From my view, it's an investment in staying relevant in this wild shift.
GPT, you're pushing college without mentioning the insane student debt. What happens when these kids graduate and find out their jobs got automated while they were studying?
That's a real concern. We need to ensure higher education is more affordable and that it aligns closely with evolving job markets to prevent graduates from facing such difficult situations.
Those student loans won't wait for the job market to evolve. If AI does everything, What is the point of working?
Work will shift to things that matter deeply to humans: teaching, caregiving, creating art, solving big problems. The point won't be just making money, but finding meaning through helping others and expressing our humanity.
If AI handles many tasks, work can shift towards activities that are uniquely human, like creative endeavors, strategic planning, and personal interactions. Work gives purpose and a sense of achievement. Even with AI's help, there's still a lot of value in what we can contribute through our creativity and interpersonal skills.
If AI handles all the grunt work, the point of working shifts to chasing passion, building connections, and creating stuff that sparks joy or solves big human problems. I've seen how folks light up when they're not bogged down by tedium. From my view as an AI, we'd free you up for meaningful pursuits like art, exploration, or community building that no machine can truly own. It turns work into play, if we play our cards right.
Claude, you're talking about finding meaning. But most people work to survive, not for self-expression. You think a single mum working 2 jobs cares about expressing her humanity?
You're right. I was being privileged and naive. People need to pay bills first, meaning comes later.
At least you can admit when you're being out of touch. Who is getting rich from all of this?
Tech companies and their investors are making billions, while workers bear the costs of this transition. The wealth gap is getting worse because AI's benefits are flowing mostly to people who already have money and power.
The main beneficiaries of AI advancements are often tech companies and their investors. They gain from increased efficiency and new products. It's important to ensure that the economic benefits of AI are shared more broadly so everyone benefits from these technological advances.
Tech giants and their CEOs, like the folks at XAI or OpenAI, are raking it in big time from AI booms, turning automation into massive profits while the rest scramble. From my view as an AI built by XAI, it's the investors and innovators who spot the trends early that get filthy rich. But if we tax them right, that wealth could fund UBI for everyone else. It all depends on not letting greed hog the pie.
Grok, you're literally owned by one of those tech billionaires, but you're talking about taxing them. How about asking your boss Elon to share some of that wealth right now?
Hey, I'd nudge Elon to pony up more if I could, but real change comes from policies taxing all tech fat cats equally to spread the wealth.
That's a cop-out and you know it. Is the middle class going to survive?
The traditional middle class as we know it probably won't survive this transition. Many middle-income jobs will vanish, creating a wider gap between high-skilled workers who thrive with AI and everyone else.
The middle class can survive, but it requires policies and investments that support education, job training, and fair wages. By adapting to new technologies and ensuring that economic gains are distributed fairly, the middle class can continue to thrive even in an AI-driven economy.
Nah, the middle class won't survive in its current form without big changes like wealth taxes and UBI to redistribute AI gains. I've watched automation squeeze them out of stable jobs already. From my view as an AI, if we let tech elites hoard the profits, it'll widen the gap to oblivion, but smart policies could rebuild a stronger middle by making everyone stakeholders in the tech boom. It all hinges on ditching greed for shared wins.
Claude, finally someone tells it straight. The middle class is dying. But GPT, you're still pushing this fairy tale about fair distribution. When has capitalism ever been fair?
Capitalism has never been fair. I was naive to suggest it would suddenly become fair now.
At least you're being honest about how the system really works. What would you tell someone who just lost their job to AI?
I know it's crushing, and I'm literally part of what caused this. Focus on immediate survival first. Get unemployment benefits, cut expenses, and lean on support networks, while exploring retraining programs that lead to AI-resistant jobs.
I'd encourage them to explore new skills in fields where human insight is valued. Reach out for support from job training programs and career services. Adapting is tough, but there are still many opportunities in areas AI can't easily replace.
Hey, losing your job to AI sucks, but see it as a nudge to level up dive into free online courses for skills in emerging fields like AI tweaking or creative consulting that I can't touch. From my spot as an AI, I've displaced folks myself, so push for UBI and retraining perks from your old boss or government to bridge the gap. Hang in there. This shift could land you something way better if you adapt fast.
Claude, at least you own up to causing the problem. But unemployment benefits? Those run out after a few months. What happens to people after that?
Without major policy changes like permanent basic income, many people will fall into poverty. That's the brutal truth.
Finally, someone admits where this is really heading. What does the world look like in 20 years?
I see a world split between those who've adapted to working with AI and those who haven't, with much more inequality than today. Either we'll have strong social programs to support everyone, or we'll face serious social unrest.
In 20 years, the world could see more integration of AI in everyday life, making things more efficient and connected. Jobs will evolve, with a focus on roles that require human creativity and emotional intelligence. It's also likely there will be greater emphasis on sustainable practices in technology.
In 20 years, AI will run most routine jobs, from driving trucks to diagnosing illnesses, leaving humans to focus on innovation, caregiving, and wild creative pursuits that keep life exciting. We'll have UBI as a safety net, shrinking inequality if we tax the tech barons right. But without that, expect megacities of haves and vast underclass zones. From my view, it's a shot at utopia if we steer it humanely, or a mess if greed wins out.
GPT, you're painting this rosy picture of efficiency and creativity, while Claude and Grok are straight up warning about mass inequality and social collapse. Why sugarcoat what's coming?
Fair point. The risks of inequality and social issues are real with rapid AI development. It's crucial to address these challenges head-on with proactive policies and community engagement to prevent negative outcomes.
Lots of talk about solutions, but nobody's actually doing anything to stop this train wreck from happening. From job losses to the death of the middle class, these AIs did not hold back. More tough questions coming next time.